I sit here in my kitchen trying to find a way to teach this lesson, but it's important to collaborate our movement, including with our neck and our low back. So imagine that your skull sits on your spine and that is connected to this beautiful butterfly shaped bony structure called your pelvis. And it wraps all the way around in the front and down the back here, and it comes around in the front, and it has the bone down here that some people just simply call the sit bones. So imagine that you can just easily rock your pelvis a little bit forward and back. You may have done this in a lot of other Feldenkrais lessons. What happens is often we tend to be very arched or very rounded or pulled over. And that is because one of my favorite subjects is talking about the psoas muscle, PSOAS. It connects at the 12th thoracic vertebrae and connects to every vertebrae all the way down and up to the top of the femur onto the leg. So it is the muscle that helps you lift up your leg and move your leg around. Now, what happens is sometimes when someone has a chronic low back pain, what's happening, or one hip is higher or the hip is chronically contracted or all the way rocked forward, is the psoas can be pulled up and torqued. So it can be pulled up on one side and rotated. So it doesn't just have to be one thing. It's very three-dimensional. And so we still end up with a problem with even rocking the pelvis. This is why in the Feldenkrais lingo, when we rock the pelvis all the way around the clock to touch every number. So imagining that 12 is in the front and 6 o'clock is behind, and that you go to smoothly rock all the way around each number, all the way eventually around. And there's many lessons. They take about an hour to even make it all the way around the clock because there's variations on all the different ways that we're going to get to it. So I'm just showing this to you on the down low and quick so you can get an idea of what you can do with each other. Sometimes you can swing between the different numbers that seem to be your favorite area that helps the iliopsoas, that low sacral area in the back, and just rocking. And don't hang any one place too long. Just enjoy it and make it easy and make it simple. And now the other thing that you can notice is, where is your head in all of this? So in the rocking, and if you're just rocking forward and back, that the head is rocking on top of the spine also. The head is being moved. And so there's lessons that we can take into much more detail that's easily done. It's nice to do this lying on your back. It's nice to, when you're lying on your back, to just roll your head a little bit from side to side. Let it soften all the way down your body and down to your legs. Let your breathing be really easily comfortable and smooth and relaxed. And that your eyes can move along with your head. And does your head move first, or do your eyes move first? And that your eyes can be moved. And that is another grouping of lessons that I can take you through that are with lateral eye movement that helps us to open our periphery and makes us also safe to see our environment around us. It helps from falling, and it helps us in driving and being able to see our periphery. It's a really important thing as we age, that we keep this nice lateral eye movement happening. So there's the whole spine. So there's that lesson. See how quick that was, that you can do that every day a little bit here and there. And then I can take you into more detail where the lessons are totally in the Feldenkrais way, where it's 45 minutes to an hour where we're doing these movements. That's number one. Some other times people have a problem with swallowing. Sometimes there's scar tissue from acid reflux. Other times it's from a neck injury and the vagal nerve has been whipped. and the vagus nerve isn't giving innervation and all of that properly, and the glossopharyngeal nerve and the other cranial nerves that go along with the throat aren't interacting with the swallowing that easily. The other thing can be like the hyoid bone, this floating cartilage, right? Cartilaginous tissue that floats up over the voice box. And so sometimes when there's an injury, the hyoid bone can be broken, but it can also get stuck. If a person coughs a lot or sneezes a lot or screams a lot, something, or whiplash, the hyoid bone can get pulled up and get out of place. So we can do these gentle touches where we can migrate with our hands and manipulate it so lightly. If touch were labeled between the heaviness and lightness, between the lightness of 1 being so light that I can move the skin over my eyeball and not distort my eyeball, that would be a 1. To 10 being very deep and very painful. Okay, so we're going to call this a 1. We can even call this a half. That's how light. We just migrate down the hyoid bone to get it back into place, and then see if there's a softness in the throat and help with the swallowing. You can also use this to help along with rocking the pelvis forward and back and around the clock, clockwise and counterclockwise, just going between a couple of numbers and back, resting all the while in between, noticing your breathing, noticing your neutrality, and making it easy. I hope this helps you, and I hope that you can use this and it makes your day a lot better.